recently we've both been playing a great deal of Halo Infinite, so it seems like a no-brainer to do some kind of video on the series. Being a nerd, I needed to come up with some sort of mathematical formula to decide what our personal favorite games would be.
We've created 5 categories for each game: narrative, score, gameplay, multiplayer, and a bonus category, assigning each one a number from 1 to 10, adding up our totals and having a ranking for each game out of a possible 100.
This should reduce the chances of ties and provide us a chance to be surprised. And once again, I'd like to stress this is just our personal favorites, not an objective ranking of the series, which would have been a very different list. So, without further ado, Number 10.
Halo 4 might be your favorite Halo game. While it's not either of ours, that is not us saying that it is a bad game. This list is actually made under the opinion that there are no bad Halo games. Maybe games that don't live up to their potential, or don't meet every fan expectation, but as a series, a franchise, a universe even, it's a damn good series. But we have to talk about the Shield World-sized elephant in the room, which is, 343 seems to waffle back and forth on what kind of game they wanted to make here. Ostensibly, this game is not only Chief saying goodbye to Cortana, but it feels like a meta goodbye to the old era of Halo. The remnants of the Covenant, Cortana and Chief alone on an alien installation. Broken UNSC equipment scatters across the landscape. The entire opening is a bit of a greatest hits of the franchise. Hell, the first level starts with the good old-fashioned boarding action. And I'm actually all about it. I love this opening. And then we catch Cancer. And by Cancer, I mean Prometheans. I'm not against new enemies and alien races added to the series, but Prometheans are a symptom of a bigger problem in Halo 4. Aesthetics and readability. Everything across the board here has been desaturated and redesigned to the point where a group of enemies don't read on screen as individual units. In fact, groups of Covenant, Prometheans, and even UNSC blend into a homogeneous mess of gold and gray, or blue and gray, or green and gray. And the gameplay suffers as a result. Combine all this with the simplified AI, and the gameplay becomes the least dynamic in the series, which in turn brings down the quality of the new firefight co-op hybrid mode called Spartan Ops. Had it been populated with enemies that were fun to fight and had better scenarios, Spartan Ops might have lasted more than one season. Now, all of this explains why it's at the bottom of our list, but as stated, we feel like this is still a compelling game. Why is that? The Master Chief. John has been through hell. While for everyone else, the events of Halo 2 and 3 are long past, for him it's literally been hours since he saved the galaxy. He had to suffer losses of men and women under him, the loss of Miranda and Johnson, but the loss of Cortana is just one too many. The moment Cortana finally reveals that she's dying, Chief drops everything else to protect her. Even though she's become a liability and threatens the success of the entire mission, she's still a part of his team, and this time, no one gets left behind, leading Chief to one of his biggest character growth moments in the series.
Give me that chip. The Didact has to be stopped. If you won't do that, I will.
I am ordering you to surrender that AI!
No, sir.
He is given a direct order and chooses not to obey. This isn't some vague command given over a static-filled comms channel. John is surrounded by strangers that outrank him, a superior officer screaming in his face to obey a simple order. John, 117, indoctrinated at the age of 6, trained to be humanity's most loyal soldier, protector of Earth and all her colonies, says, "No, sir." He's going to complete his mission and save his friend. The subsequent missions make up one of the most solid third acts in the series. Hell, you even get to pilot a Pelican legitimately for the first time in the series.
And Chief, good luck. Both of you.
Come on, Chief. take a girl for a ride.
And in the end, Chief and Cortana's final few scenes are heartbreaking. Even if you know the ending, you still feel like there's the smallest, faintest hope that Chief is going to save her. While the story struggles with whether this game acts as a goodbye or a continuation of the franchise, Steve and Jen act the hell out of these scenes.
It was my job to take care of you.
We were supposed to take care of each other.
While there are a myriad of complaints that you could lob at this particular entry, when it could have very well ended up being the last Halo game ever, it wouldn't have been the worst ending in any regard. And I think that's worth something.
That was real nice, Mike.
Thanks.
I'm surprised you didn't talk more about the characters.
They're fine, I guess. There's Lasky, Halsey, Palmer, Del Rio.
Well, yeah, but the Didac and the Librarian's story mirrors Chief and Cortana's. It's about love, sacrifice, the cost of war, how we lose things the more we try to hold on to them.
Didac. Was he important?
He's the main antagonist.
Yeah, not ringing any bells.
Fair enough.